Good morning. Welcome to the Future Heroes workshop number 7, devoted to digital impact and media literacy. Really special welcome to all those who have joined us on social media, on Facebook Live. We are glad that you're following us on this Saturday morning and want to be inspired. So with no further ado, I would like to introduce today's inspirational speaker. She feels like a fish in the water when it comes to the media world. She acts confidently online and on stage, and she is not afraid to be part of the most varied and challenging projects. She is a TV producer and host, organizer and moderator of various events and concerts. Also, she is the CEO of marketing agency KK PR and Production, and she will share her colorful story with us this morning. So welcome, Kristīne Komarovska.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to talk with you in this really nice and sunny morning. It's rare, and for me, it's rare to share my stories. And because of that, I'm actually more nervous than being on TV and hosting big events, because this story is about me and sharing my experience with you. But I'm very, very honored today to talk with you, and I'm very happy to see your faces and that you are still keeping interest to be better, to be you, and to discover new horizons. And in the further presentation and speech, I will stick to the emotional part of me, which is actually the one which is keeping up my spirit and holding my values, more than the part of me which is based on my experiences and brain, because I'm very emotional as a person. So, and I always have thought that to be emotional is a bad thing, but I have learned that actually being emotional can lead you to the nice places, to the new places. And I would love to start my presentation. Do you see it? And I'm starting my presentation with the motto, fake it till you make it. And I don't know, and I don't remember how I found this to be my guiding line, because I always have been working hard and learning and hard and taking all the opportunities, burning myself into work and devoting all my spirit into the things and projects I believe in. But here you can see that faking maybe feels a little bit with a bad connotation, with a bad feeling. But faking in this case and in my life has been that I have always dived into the things that I actually don't know how to do, or have taken the jobs that I don't know actually how to do. So I have been faking for myself and for others, and just learning on the way how to do them, and just being sometimes a little bit brave to say yes, it's possible. And I will share some of my stories in my career, so you will find out why I'm saying that I needed to fake it, and to take on some jobs. And actually, at the end, when I was taking these jobs and learning how to do them well and better, I actually made it. So I don't know. I'm just keep sticking to this motto: fake it till you make it. So, yeah. What I know about myself, as I told you already, I know that I'm emotional. I know that I'm 32. I know that I had quite a lot of experiences. I have lived abroad quite a few times, in France, Egypt, and Edinburgh, which is England. And I have been traveling quite a lot, and I have always been too adventurous for others. This is now what I know about myself. And I know about myself that I have started my life from new again and again for many, many times, because of health issues, because of different issues that come into life. But I don't know how. I always have found this one light to move on and keep going. And I know that I'm very young, actually, not as young as you, but I'm young, and it sounds a little bit weird, but some of the challenges have been a little bit too hard and critical at some moments. But I know about myself that I love people, I love stories, I love things to experience, I love new experiences, and I want to share it with you because I want you to think now about what you know about yourself, because this is the position where you are starting. You need to know something about yourself. You need to know your values, your things, your characteristics, and so on. So just think about what you know about yourself. Here is what I'm proud of. It's a little bit of my CV. For maybe a lot of you that have never seen me in my projects, but my adventure and my career began actually in Latvia's concert quite a long time ago. I think I was 20 years old, and I started to work in Latvia's concert with the Great Music Award, and afterwards I was director of a very classical magazine, Figaro, which I think none of you remember, maybe some. But before that, I had already done some adventures in my life, but this is where my career began. But I think when I began and I understood that I can do actually everything was when I was 18. And here is the story about fake it till you make it. My mom was studying in Impro to be a tour guide. And once when she had an exam, I just went with her to just just hold her hand and talk around with people. And she passed the exam. And afterwards, one lady called me from the Impro office and she told like, oh, we are looking for the new guides. What are you studying? And I said like, I'm studying culture management. And she said like, okay, are you good in the art of culture, history? I said, yeah, I am. She said like, we are looking for a guide in Paris. I said, oh, cool, Paris. Yeah, sure. Why not? I said, okay, what I need to do? Do I need to do some courses? And she said like, we are at a very critical point. Do you speak English? Yeah, I do. Do you speak Russian? Yeah, I do. Do you know this and that? I said, yes, I do. And she said like, okay, study a bit. And in 1 week, you are going to the tour with the professional guide, and you just listen and see what she does and how she does, and then you come back and then you go with your group. And that was crazy. That was adventure because I never studied how to be a guide. Okay, I was in university. I was studying history of arts and so on, but yeah, I was not very strong in history. I just liked history. That's it. And I read stories about the places we were going and so on. And then we went on the tour and I got an inspiration from the guide, which was with experience of 20 plus years, and all the stories she told about Louvre, about Marie Antoinette, about everything in Paris and Allée de Loire. And I came back to Riga, and 1 week after, I was in a bus with 40 people, and we were going with the bus to France, and I need to pretend that I'm guide because they had paid their money, they are on the tour, and no one needs to know that actually there has been situation that the tours are overbooked and so on. So yeah, and I told the stories all through the Lithuania, all through Poland, through Germany. We went to hotels in Paris. I pretended that I know everything, but actually I've been to Paris only once with the tour before. And then I was telling the stories about all the places and things. And it was crazy because I was studying at night what to talk in the morning. And then we were passing some buildings and there were teachers in the groups and they were asking like, what's this, what's that? And they are not asking only about buildings, only about history. They're asking about the flowers and trees, and it's too complicated. And then they see the sculpture and everything. And a lot of stories I needed to make up, of course. Because you can't know everything, even though you have seen and been in places. So this is the biggest adventure in my life. After I was doing guiding in, I don't know, I don't remember exactly, but I think it was nearly half a year. So I traveled to back and forth to Paris and to Brussels and to Germany. So I learned the new cities. And then I kept being a guide, and I actually enjoyed it so very much. And I studied hard, so the tours were good, and I had very good reviews, and the company was very happy with me. And then I had an invitation to be a tour leader in Egypt, which meant to leave Impro and to join Domino Travel at that time, and to go to Egypt and to work as it was a position which was better paid and so on. So I went to Egypt and I was working again in tourism. So I thought at that time that I was 19, 20, that tourism is my thing, and I will stick to it because I love history, I love people, I like telling the stories. And I went to Egypt and and I was booking hotels and planes for people, excursions, so on, and taking care of the people which were arriving from Riga to there. And then the 2008 crisis hit and tourism collapsed. My career collapsed, my life collapsed, everything was broken. I lost myself. So I faked it till I made it, and then at one point I just came back to Latvia, went back to university. We were studying further, and I was studying all the time actually. Even though when I was in Egypt, it was not like that. Like now, you can study remotely. At that time, I needed to fly in every 2 months to do exams, or every month to do exams and write an essays, and everyone wanted the attendance, and you couldn't ask for lecturers to be sent over to you to study. So I came back to Latvia, and 2008 the crisis started. I worked for half a year here in Latvia. Then I found au pair program online because I was so desperate. I didn't want to work as a secretary. I didn't want to do the job. I didn't like the university anymore, and I was very depressed. So I found au pair program, which is a program for nannies around the world. So you can go abroad, look after some children, learn languages, and experience culture and experience life. And I did that, and I went to France with 60 euros in my pocket for 1 year. And I was scared. I didn't know where is Nantes. I knew where is Nantes, but I never been there before in my excursions. But I so desperately wanted to go back to France and learn this French language. And I thought that, like, COVID-19 now has taken a lot of things away from us. So I had the same desperate feeling in 2008 when there were no possibility to have a nice job that you like. There were the lack of money and so on. It was very depressing times. I'm sorry. And this is the story about fake it till you make it. So I went to France and I started to be au pair. And afterwards I came back and then I did some au pairing in Edinburgh afterwards as well. So and then is how I became who I am now. Then it started with Latvia's Koncerti, Bobby me astronaut, Latvia's radio, Latvian radio. I was producer and host. Then it led to STV and 360 TV, and now I'm very, very happy and honored to be part of Latvian national television, to be a chief editor, a host, and now a digital strategist. And it's a very, very big and very nice place where to be at this point. And I'm very happy about that. And so I have 2 degrees, and one of the last ones is master's degree in diplomacy. I'm trying to move on in my presentation. The story actually, what I told you about is I was all the way around becoming who I really am actually the tourism helped me to understand a lot of things. The crisis helped me to understand a lot of things. And a few days ago, I shared in my social media a new podcast I had created, and I realized that this year during COVID-19 crisis, I have been able to release a book, to create new TV shows, to host biggest shows in my life, and I understood that every crisis actually is the biggest opportunity. And maybe I'm lucky because I'm in this place now, and it's not like this for everyone. But yeah, the crisis always, no matter the crisis in the world or the crisis within yourself, within your personality, always helps become who you really are. Not the happy moments, not the moments you're succeeding everything, and not the moments you're very inspired, but exactly the crises are the ones that help you to understand who you are. And the most important thing is to accept it, no matter. The thing is about creating from nothing. It's a story which goes through all my work experiences, adventures I have taken on. There's a story now about Latvijas Radio 5, Latvian Radio 5. We created it already a few years ago with Toms Grēviņš and Anna Platpīre and Carlos Dagilis, and maybe you have heard of these words. And so I took the job not understanding what actually means to be a producer for a radio show. You just have listened to radio and that's it, and then you start to read how to produce the shows, and then you need to think about how to name the times. For example, my show was Pieci Brauc, and still calls it, it still Hell's Dream, and I created a lot of I'm sorry, my cat is killing my ears, and I believe yours too. And so I created a lot of different shows in within, and we did the first charity marathon Dot Pieci, which is now the biggest marathon of charity in Latvia, and I'm very, very proud of the team I have been working for before. So it all came from nothing, from ideas, from just being together and working on them, and actually at the point not asking how much they will pay me, how much do I get from out of it, what's my time limits, do I need to work from 9 to 5, and so on. It have been works and projects beyond all the borders of time and so on. So only one thing, to do something bigger and create something bigger, and afterwards, of course, you want to earn something. But all the projects have been created from nothing, from desire to do something more. And I believe that to produce a show is as produce a life and produce personal fulfillment. And I always have these points when I'm thinking in my mind about how I produce the show or how I produce the event, is notice what's happening around you, question why it's happening, define the target audience for who, and find out how it can be useful for you. And I believe that your own interests and wishes need to become your lighthouses. It means that in the show or in your personal fulfillment, you need to see what surrounds you. You need to get rid of the things which are bad to you. You need to stick to the ones which are good to you. Stick to the ones which are bringing you up. And I'm talking about the people. I'm talking about the friends. I'm talking about the family and the attitude towards all of it. I'm talking about borders, which has been biggest question of my last 5 years. Where are my borders with my family, my friends, my colleagues, my projects, my private and personal life? The question of borders is very, very important. And I always question why things are happening, and it's very important to understand for yourself why this and that thing is happening, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad, but it's always nice, and it's really important to know why the things are happening that way in order to next time do it better, or to, to not do that again at all. And and I will share one story which I believe have created biggest part of what I am now. Is the story when I got serious health issues, and I want to talk with you about that, because a lot of people, when they start to work on their crazy ideas, they're burning into it, and it's good to burn, because without burning there is no warmth. But sometimes you can overburn, and it's called burning out. And unfortunately, I've had very bad experience with burning out. So I want you to, during all your career and your work life, personal life, to always listen to you and to know who you are really, because burning out is it's very serious thing. It can take a lot of time and money, and it took 1.5 years to go back on track to work again. And so I really wish you to, if you feel sad or angry, sometimes to stop, not go, or not push yourself, because every time you feel sad, angry, or nervous, these are the points where you need to stop and relax, sleep more, walk out, do sports, do things around you, because it's not normal to become a crazy person. And at one point it can lead you to this nervous breakdowns or burning out. So I really wanted you to think about that, and to know your borders. And I'm as you have seen, and I believe if you are interested in, you can find in English and Latvian language quite a lot of stories about have talked about how one experience leads to other, and one opportunity leads to next, and it is like this because you get to know more people. These people know other people. You have projects, you have things you can share and do together. You don't need to be scared to ask and call for help, or say that, oh, okay, I'm available for work or job, because you won't believe that. But a lot of projects and a lot of things have happened exactly like that. And sometimes after my lectures, which I've been giving in university, I have had calls that girls or guys who want to work in one or other project, not by asking the money, because you need to get an experience. And this is the nicest thing. And quite a lot of them are now in quite nice positions, and I'm very, very happy about them. And the only thing that I'm sure now at this time during last year is that times are changing all the time. So you need to be the one who sets new trends, and to set new trend, you can only be you know, you don't need to follow others. So don't be scared to set new trends. Don't be scared to do things your way and not watch how others are doing. Maybe get inspired, yes, inspired by the best, but don't compare, because I have always realized that when I'm comparing myself to others, I downgrade myself, and I believe that they do it better. But then I think that I just need to be me, you know. I don't need to compare myself to others. So I'm asking you, please do not compare you to others, and just realize that you can be the one who sets new trends. And about this year 2020, as I told you, I have never felt that such a productive year in my life. And and I even created official Latvian account of memes, and released the book, the Latvian ABC, short stories about Latvians in Latvian Institute, where I was working last year. And it felt crazy, because to actually make a book, to release it, and to get to the point where it's spread all over the world, and it's free and it's online, and I could do whatever I want, and I was very happy with my director that she trusted me so much, so I could make a multimedia project, which is actually now in the schools in Germany, in France, in United States. They're using these books in schools for Latvian schools. So I couldn't imagine that I will come from my trip and come to the director's office and say like, oh, listen, I think we need to do Latvian ABC, but the funny way, the crazy stories about us. And we did together with the team, of course, but it's very inspiring that you can do whatever actually and make whatever, and it can work. Sometimes it doesn't, but it can. And one of the last campaigns which I did in KKPR production was as well for Latin Institute campaign. Latvians for visu. Latvian can everything. Latvians can do everything. And the patron of the campaign was Latvia's president. So what I should say, don't be afraid to go big, or you just need to go home. So we tried and we succeeded, and I'm pretty happy about this campaign, even though it had some negative attitude towards it as well. But it can happen when you do public things, and you just don't need to get scared of it. You need just to deal with it. And this year I had some brightest moment in 2020. I had some brightest moment in my career as a host as well. When I started as a practitioner in Latvia's concert 10 years ago, I was holding the text for the hostess of Great Music Award hostess, and now 10 years later I had the opportunity to host it, and that was a super crazy feeling, and I was very, very happy to do it. And this year ended by hosting New Year's event, the main event of the year on television, with a guy I could never imagine to stand by on the stage. And I first day, actually, when we were standing on the stage, I thought we were recording the show 3 days. And first day I was in the dress, and I was looking at him, and everyone is pretending it's just a normal thing, but it wasn't, for me, it wasn't. It was one of my biggest dreams. And I was there with this Freds, and he's like a super crazy, best ever host, which has been on TV for, I don't know, 30 years or something. And I was standing there, and I thought like, it's crazy. And I just wanted to cry, but I was pretending, yeah, I'm cool. So yeah. And then, there are these brightest moments in your life, and then there's super big downfalls, because you are not on the stage every day, you have a crazy cat, you have a house, you have bills, you have things, you have life which is happening around you, you have debts, you have friends, you have sicknesses, you have everything. And then when you go away from that spotlight moments, the downfalls are crazy ones. And I believe that life is all the time, goes up and down. And one thing I just can say to you, you must go on. You can leave things behind you easily. You just need to do what you feel right to do, and listen only to the smart people, the people who really inspire you. And don't be afraid, because there are the songs which tells what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? So be a phoenix, and every time you feel bad, you know that you will rise. And every time you feel desperate that you don't have what you have desired for, so ask yourself, have I been working enough to do that? Have I been reading and educating myself? Have I called everyone? Have I written in Instagram to people that could help me with things? And when you have done everything, write to me. And if it doesn't work, but I know that it works. So thank you very much for your attention. It was a pleasure to be with you. I'm very sorry about my cat and dog, but this is life in COVID-19 now. So.